Imagine stepping into a time machine, pressing a button, and blasting forward, not 1 year, not 1,000 years, not even 1,000,000 years, but 1 billion years into the future. What would you see when you opened the door? Would Earth still exist? Would humanity have survived, evolved, or disappeared completely? Would the sun still shine, or would our solar system be unrecognizable? Today, we'll explore one of the most mind-bending journeys ever imagined. What if you traveled 1 billion years into the future? Let's start by putting 1 billion years into perspective. A billion years is a span of time almost impossible for our minds to grasp. For reference, modern humans have only existed for about 300,000 years. Dinosaurs went extinct around 65 million years ago. The entire age of mammals covers about 66 million years. And the Earth itself is only 4.5 billion years old. So, jumping ahead 1 billion years is like skipping nearly a quarter of Earth's total history. It's a time leap so vast that civilizations, continents, oceans, and even the sun itself will have changed dramatically. If you landed on Earth 1 billion years in the future, you might not even recognize it. The continents will have drifted due to plate tectonics. Geologists predict that within 250 million years, all continents may merge into a supercontinent. By 1 billion years, this cycle could repeat several times, reshaping the globe again and again. The landmasses might look completely alien. Mountain ranges we know today, like the Himalayas or the Rockies, could be eroded flat, replaced by entirely new peaks. The climate would also be extreme. Earth's atmosphere will grow hotter as the sun continues to brighten, making much of the planet less hospitable. The oceans might even start evaporating. By a billion years, Earth could resemble a hot, dry desert world, more like Venus than the blue planet we know today. The fate of Earth is tied to the life of the sun. Our sun is currently a middle-aged star, but it's slowly growing brighter and hotter. Over the next billion years, its energy output will increase by about 10%. That may not sound like much, but it would make Earth uninhabitable. The oceans could boil away, the atmosphere could collapse, and the surface would become a scorching wasteland. If you arrived a billion years in the future, the sun would shine more fiercely than ever, and Earth might already be well on its way toward becoming a dead world. So, what about life? Would anything survive 1 billion years into the future? Scientists predict that complex life, like animals and plants, would struggle to survive once the oceans begin to evaporate. Rising temperatures and radiation would wipe out most ecosystems. But life is resilient. Microbes, especially extremophiles that thrive in harsh environments, could continue to exist underground or in deep rock layers. If evolution continues, perhaps entirely new, heat-resistant organisms might emerge, thriving in conditions impossible for humans. In other words, if you landed here after a billion years, Earth might not be teeming with forests and animals. It could be a microbial world again. The biggest question, of course, is, what about us? Would humanity still be around 1 billion years from now? It's extremely unlikely that our species would survive in its current form. Civilizations rise and fall, species evolve or go extinct. But that doesn't mean intelligence would vanish. Perhaps humans would evolve into a new form, stronger, more adaptive, maybe even cybernetic or digital. By then, humanity might no longer be tied to biological bodies. We could exist as post-biological beings, living in machines or uploading consciousness into vast computer networks. If humanity masters space travel, we could leave Earth long before it becomes uninhabitable, colonizing other star systems. You might not find humans on Earth, but you could encounter their descendants across the galaxy. Traveling a billion years into the future wouldn't just change Earth, it would transform the entire solar system. Mars, for example, could become more habitable for a while as the sun brightens, melting its ice and warming the planet. But eventually, it too would overheat. gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn would remain, but their moons might evolve. Europa or Titan could briefly host liquid water and potentially life. Over 1 billion years, the outer solar system might be the last refuge for surviving organisms. Asteroids and comets would continue to shape planets with impacts, though much of the solar system might grow quiet as gravitational forces clear out remaining debris. But the changes wouldn't stop with our solar system. 1 billion years is also enough time for the Milky Way galaxy to evolve. Stars are constantly being born and dying. New star clusters would light up, while old stars fade away. In fact, in about 4 billion years, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda galaxy. 1 billion years into the future, this collision might already be in motion, reshaping the night sky into a dazzling display of merging galaxies. The cosmic neighborhood would be completely transformed, perhaps breathtakingly beautiful, but also chaotic. If intelligent life survives, whether human or alien, what would it look like after 1 billion years? Imagine civilizations with technology so advanced they could control entire stars, move planets, or build structures on the scale of galaxies. Some scientists call these Type 3 civilizations on the Kardashev scale, societies harnessing the energy of the entire galaxy. If you traveled 1 billion years into the future, you might encounter megastructures like Dyson spheres, enormous shells capturing the energy of stars. Or maybe entire civilizations would exist as digital entities spread across the cosmos. To them, humanity as we are today might seem as primitive as bacteria. 1 billion years is enough time for even the most familiar landmarks of Earth to vanish. Mountains erode, continents shift, oceans evaporate. But even human creations, our cities, monuments, and technologies, would be long gone. Stone monuments like the pyramids might last a few million years at most. But after 1 billion years, nothing we built would remain. The only traces of humanity might be space probes like Voyager, drifting silently in interstellar space, carrying golden records of who we once were. Of course, there's one more question. Could we even survive such a journey? If you really traveled 1 billion years into the future, you'd face impossible challenges. Would a time machine protect you from the scorching sun, the collapsing atmosphere, or the dangers of a transformed galaxy? Would you even find a place to stand on Earth? Or would you step out into a barren wasteland, completely alien and hostile? The truth is, time travel on this scale would be less about sightseeing and more about survival. Ultimately, your journey 1 billion years into the future would reveal a universe in constant motion. Stars are born, planets die, galaxies collide. Nothing is permanent, not even our sun, not even Earth. But in that change lies beauty. The cosmos is not static, it's alive, evolving, and endlessly creative. And maybe, just maybe, if intelligent beings survive, they'll be out there waiting, carrying the torch of life forward into the endless future. So, what if you traveled 1 billion years into the future? You might find Earth transformed into a barren wasteland, the sun blazing hotter than ever, and humanity evolved, or scattered across the stars. You might witness galaxies merging, civilizations rising and falling, and life finding new ways to endure. It would be a world both alien and familiar, a reminder that time is the greatest force of change, and that nothing lasts forever. But in that mystery lies the wonder of the universe. Because even if our world fades, the story of existence continues. Thanks for joining this billion-year journey into the future. If this video sparked your imagination, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to What If-verse for more mind-bending explorations of science and possibility. Here's a question for you. If you had the chance to time travel, would you go forward into the future or back into the past, and why? Let me know in the comments below.